Hello, my fellow viewers and subscribers, and this is Supercholatemilkshake, and I'm here talking about Pokemon again. Okay, yes, I know, I'm gonna be pretty much Pokemoning out most of the fans of the Supercholatemilkshake channel at this point, but basically, I have a lot to talk about this game franchise. But first, I would like to thank everybody who watched the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet Presents Problems video. The feedback has been pretty positive, and I'm grateful for that, okay? And I'm happy that there's quite a few people who actually listened to some of my arguments and sought the video all the way through. I am very grateful for that, and personally, hopefully you do the same with this video, and the next upcoming video, where I talk about what I would do if I were to make the next generation of Pokemon games. Alright, so before I begin, I'm going to talk a little bit about a video that's called How Pokemon Became a Logistical Nightmare of Design. I personally recommend watching this video. The link will be down below in the description. Will also be linked at the end of the video. But you can watch this video without having to watch that video first. That's fine. If you want to pause it and watch it, go right ahead. It's a really good video. I do recommend it. And it's amazing how well it stands on its feet, considering that it was released before Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, and then before Legends Arceus, and also before Scarlet and Violet, but it still stands on its own 2 feet. And basically, the primary problem with it is basically how Pokemon has pretty much remained pretty much the same since the early games. Oh, yes, that, and also the monsters have been transferred over from game to game to game to game, from generation to generation, and how, well, the national dex cut was probably going to happen anyway, whether some people liked it or not. And I do agree with most of the points inside this video, though a lot of people weren't a big fan of Dexit because of the fact that, well, they were thinking that they were going to sell the Pokemon back for a price, and granted, I do agree with that criticism, and actually that is kind of what happened with the new Pokemon Home feature, which really I didn't necessarily like either. In fact, I don't really like the idea of Pokemon Home at all. In fact, when it comes down to it, though, I didn't really necessarily care much about the Maximum Dex, so it really doesn't matter for me. But the point is that Pokemon falls into this very big problem where Game Freak has gotten into a single mind mentality where definitive Pokemon always has to be this very exact gameplay loop no matter what. And it's kind of sad. You do see a little bit of this inside Pokemon Legends Arceus, but it feels like there's more stuff that's new being tried out with that. And personally, I really wish they would have kept the Arceus route when they went to make Scarlet and Violet, because personally, I think that would have made Scarlet and Violet that much better of an experience. Especially with the fact that the Pokédex is actually a lot of fun to fill out in Legends Arceus because of all the other side missions that they give you and all the other things that they tell you that you should probably do and all the things that you need to think through. Now, I know there's going to be a lot of people out there who are probably going to be going like, but John, what about this, and this? And yeah, I get it, but... And I get that catching a Pokemon will fill out the Dex entry, but personally I kind of enjoyed the mission system a little bit more because there is more to do with it than just catch the Pokemon and, oh yeah, that entry's just automatically filled up. No, you get to learn a little bit more about it. You can experiment around with it. You get to learn what its favorite food is, what the Pokemon tends to do out in the wild. You get to observe some of its behavior. You get to observe some of the things that the Pokemon will do just walking around and also helping you out with some of the certain tasks that you need to do. I mean, really, that would be a perfect Pokemon experience right there. But of course, that would probably be a little bit more inside my other video if I were to design the next generation Pokemon game. But, I mean, there's a lot of features that usually tend to never get crossed over from one game to another. And this also involves, like, Mega Evolutions, the Z moves from Sun and Moon. Really, I like those. Those were probably some of the best moves from the game and had the most beautiful animations from Pokemon, to be honest. And the best animations, too. But also, the fact that they also I would love to see some more of the, I mean, okay, Gigantamaxing, I don't think really had much of a purpose, and same thing goes with Terrasserizing, okay? I mean, sure, it may make some more powerful moves and such, and it may look ultra powerful and really cool in some cases, but I'm like, that doesn't really necessarily add too much to the game. Actually, you know, I could also probably say the same thing about Mega Evolutions too, because, you know, let's face it, Omega Ruby, which is a game that did have the Mega Evolutions inside of it, really didn't necessarily feel like it added too much to the game. And, of course, this guy also talks about how some of the older games look better with the pixel art aesthetic and such, and I am inclined to agree with that, completely and totally. And he also goes ahead and talks about how the main problem with Pokemon right now, and that is, if you play one game, you basically played them all. And I cannot disagree with this. This is an absolutely true criticism, and something that I think even most common Pokemon fans kind of share. And what's worse about it is that I really wish they would also get rid of the mentality where they would treat you like a 3-year-old playing it. I mean, look, most of these people are classic Pokemon fans and have played Pokemon since Gen 1. Seriously. If they're going to be like that, then stop treating them like a 3-year-old because they know how hard the games used to be. I mean, Gen 1 could wipe your butt on the floor or well, make you wake up in a puddle of drool if you find these games too easy. But the point is basically, since it's fallen into the same exact category and it's done the same exact thing over and over and over again with nothing new or nothing fresh or nothing innovative to add to the formula, I really do think that Game Freak really needs more time to work on it. But I don't think that's going to happen as long as Pokemon Company is going to focus on developing the anime and the cards and the merch alongside with it. And I think that's probably one of the biggest problems right there, is that basically the anime, the merch, and all that other stuff. Because, let's face it, Pokemon was a video game first. It's kind of like what I said about Sonic the Hedgehog. It was a video game first, then a multimedia franchise second. It wasn't a multimedia franchise from the very get-go. Heavens, no. No, the anime was inspired by the video games. The merch was inspired by the video games. The cards were inspired by the video games. Yes, even the spin-off games were inspired by the video games. So, you know, to say that Pokemon is technically a multimedia franchise would be technically lying. And what's even worse is that, well, right now, since they're like $1 billion franchise, most of that actually isn't really video games, but merch in general. And I understand why the Pokemon Company would want to produce far more merch than anything else, but at the same time, if they're going to spend their time focusing on merch and not the games, well, they're basically going to lose the very heart of what Pokemon originally was. And again, going back to that very argument that said that Pokemon is a video game first and not a multimedia franchise. So again, this goes back to that video that also had that primary thing that brought it up too, and I mostly agree with it. I mean, again, it's amazing how much that video stands on its 2 feet, despite the fact that it came out long before even Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. It's kind of impressive. I do recommend you watch it because it is a very good video. I have it linked down below in the description, and again, I'll have it linked at the end of the video. But if you like this video, please be sure to hit that like button, don't forget to subscribe, and comment down below. Also, this would be a good time to announce that I am going to be doing a live stream at the end of this week, okay? I will be doing a live stream on the 10th. The 10th of December, okay? And I will be basically building a little bit of a game for a game jam that I entered, so yeah, please be sure to join. Hopefully I won't have too much technical hiccups this time, and hopefully I won't have issues. Well, technical hiccups and issues are the two primary concerns for me right now. But anyway, if you like this video, please be sure to hit that like button, don't forget to subscribe, and comment down below, and I'll see you all in the next video. This is Superchocolatemilkshake, signing off.